I was thinking as I was riding my bike home from work today, soaking in that sun, after a long hard day in a smokehouse and 105 heat index, sweating and relieving all toxins from my body. I was thinking, man, it's been a good day. Here I am, thankful for this beautiful day, basking in the sun, pedaling hard to get home, to get you all this message out. The secret to being fearless and becoming the manifestation expert and scholar you've always meant to be. We got a whole lot to talk about, pioneers. You see, I have attracted the exact life I love and desire. I just had to overcome some hurdles, a lot of fear and anxiety. And I want to share with you the blueprint and the secret to becoming fearless and attracting the exact life you want while stepping into being the manifestation expert and scholar you've always meant to be. Can I get a hello? The secret is to attract the exact life you want is to become fearless. What do I do for a living? I breathe. And I try to attract beautiful experiences into my life and share my truth with the world while encouraging them to be themselves. While at the same time, I'm letting go of all worries, anxiety, and fear. Striving to live the life that I desire. Because how many of you right now today are living the life that you want? The exact life that you desire? The life you've always been dreaming about? I bet not many. Because so many people settle for this place called complacency. This mediocre life, this mediocre job, this mediocre relationship, the mediocre food. People will settle for average because they are afraid of fear, which is just an acronym that, stands for false evidence appearing real, but it really means forget everything and run. But we're not running, we're pioneers. We face everything and we rise. We build our legacy and we build our fortress. See, this is the secret to becoming fearless and attracting the exact life you want while learning to become the manifestation expert and scholar you've always meant to be. Can I get a hello? Sometimes people get stuck on the quick and easy way, stunting on YouTube, Facebook, or the Instagram. But the truth is, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You see, when it comes to manifesting the exact life you want, you're going to have to put in the hours, the blood, sweat, and tears. And we're talking 10,000 plus hours. Some days you're going to look great and powerful. Some days you're going to look weak and you're going to fall on your ass. But you're going to live to see another day. The secret to becoming fearless and attracting the exact life you want is you have to make up your mind. You can't chase 3 women at once. You're not going to catch anyone doing that. A lot of people say, I want to do this, I want to do that. They have too much on their plate and they're not focusing on one thing at a time. They need to set their priorities straight and stop multitasking. Make up your mind, have clarity on what it is you want. Know the outcome so you can build a process and work it to get you there. The secret to becoming fearless and attracting the exact life you want and becoming the manifestation and expert and scholar you've always meant to be is don't let fear take a hold of you. You see, fear has killed more people than COVID did. See, COVID, all it stood for was creating our vision in detail. Now start creating. Fear kills more of your peace than you know. Fear is the greatest thief to your inner peace. The secret to becoming fearless is relinquish all fear. You're by yourself, you're alone, right? No, you're not. We're with you here on the Daily Candle Close News. But once you're making it, everybody wants to be your friend. But remind yourself, don't be discouraged, because the beginning is always hard. It's always been hard for me, but I just kept on going. My story's not over yet. Others had the audacity to try and put a time on my life. And your boy's still here. The hard things you have to do in life, like holding your greatest potential for growth, like anytime you're faced with something difficult, something that is hard, you better do it. Because inside of that is the seed that will help you grow the most. Your greatest fear holds the seed to your greatest evolution. Can I get a hello? You have to face it and purge it. There's something you should be attending to right now in your life today. Start attending to it. Start watering the plants that you need to see grow into the process and the evolution that gets you to the outcome of where you want to be. This is not going to be easy. I never said it would be. The journey does not get easier, by the way. But you get stronger. How about that? You do get wiser. How about that? Can I get a hello? The journey never get easier, but you get better. Trials and tribulations help you help others. See, your trials and tribulations sharpen you like a sword. You're a piece of iron, pioneers. You're in an iron mill. And iron can only be sharpened by iron. You have to sharpen yourself. Every single day of your life, you have to allow yourself to go through the grinder. Yeah, and it's not gonna feel pleasant. Allow yourself to be under pressure, to be the diamond afterwards. So the secret to being the manifestation expert and scholar you've always been meant to be, to becoming fearless and who you've always desired, it's in your hands. It's up to you. You set your rules. Now work on your dreams, even when you don't have to, because you love it. That's what I do. Many people have fears and anxiety right now because of what's been going on the last 2 years and bad news, like the broken compass, the news that's designed to keep you lost, distracted, broken, and confused. They lose sight of their potential. They're stuck in tunnel vision. They're not stepping into radical action. They're just being talkers about it and not being doers. So you gotta have the right support team around you. Don't be around people that judge you. Be around people that love you. Let go of people who have let go of you, who don't value you. Be around people who value you, who see you as someone real, not a non-player character. The secret to becoming fearless and who you've always been meant to be, a manifestation expert and scholar, is you gotta shoot, whether you hit the target or not. You gotta pull the trigger. You gotta show up and show out. Be consistent. It doesn't care if I make mistakes. I do it all the time. At least I showed up. A lot of people are scared, but have never even tried. The overdoing can also make you fearless. And that's the secret to attracting the exact life you want. Eat to live. Take care of yourself day in and day out. Invest in yourself. Take care of your energy. A lot of people want to invest in a new MacBook and an iPhone, but what's the point if you don't have a life to enjoy it? Because many people aren't even living, they're merely just existing, and there's a big difference. Start taking your vision serious and invest in your vision. Stop feeling like it can't happen to you. You are the chosen one. The whole universe conspires to help you achieve what you really want. The universe reveals its secrets to those who dare to follow their hearts. And this is the secret to becoming fearless and attracting the exact life you want. You see, a lot of people are going to tell you it's not going to work out. And they're going to tell you don't do it. But it's going to work out in the end. Why? Because you said so. Man, it feels so good to be alive, pioneers. So take a deep breath of that prana with me, because I'm sending you much love and high vibrations out to wherever you are in this matrix and galaxy right now. Because I can't help but see everywhere we look across the crypto Twitter and the cryptocurrency space, all these content providers talking about nonsense, minutia, and monotony. And I'm not discrediting any of these content providers, because again, they're out here making art each and every day. But the fear mongering that we're seeing take place is something I tell you to pay attention to. And the narratives, they're always going to give us something like Celsius, etc. When we see massive volatility around the cryptocurrency markets, we see the news around Michael Saylor being down over $900 million. They're always going to give you a scapegoat. What are you doing? We knew this time frame was coming. Did you have your bags ready to get packed and buy the dip for a future potential increase in price? Not financial advice, but we see this high volatility and this much lower prices, while you see all these people that have been in crypto running for the hills, because it's all by design. First, we know they're going to resist it, then they're going to sue it, regulate it, and then join it. We are in the transition between regulation and joining, and this is where it gets nasty and where we see who's truly meant to be here. This is where a lot of retail investors get pushed out of this market, and all of a sudden it comes back and it gets rinse repeated over and over again. We know the RSI is again oversold, underbought. What are you doing? Not financial advice. We know today was a 69-day period since Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday. Not surprising, Bitcoin hit a 69K top. It's all right here esoterically in a code, pre-programmed to an algorithmic code, and it finally hits a low on June 13th, you guys, a day I prepared my pioneers to look out for. It's all by design, and if you watch our work going back in time, you see this. And if we look at today and we see how important it was when we break this down with our date calculator and we compare it not only to the start of when our 69K top came in on Wednesday, November 10th, November 11th, the 111 day, we see that this time period has been a 7-month, 2-day time period. And we're seeing this volatility come in around Bitcoin, and that's not surprising. Bitcoin's given us that 72 in numerology. So very important that we pay attention to this. 7 months, 2 days. We see the decrease in the price charts today. This was a day that we've talked about in the past. That was the 314th day of the year. Okay, all coming back full circle to the pi, mathematical constant that we follow here on the Daily Candle Close News. A quick note about today, and one of the reasons behind the big energy is this. It's always coming back full circle, the Ouroboros. Okay, life, death, rebirth, the never-ending story. Another connection to today is when we connect this not only to the 69K top, but when we connect it to the end of the Shemitah and the upcoming Rosh Hashanah for this year, it's given us a span of 3 months and 14 days away. So again, connecting yesterday and today into this time period. So if we were to go from today to the start of the end of the Shemitah and Rosh Hashanah, it's still 3 months and 14 days. So very powerful. We first saw this and prepared you for the energy that would come in around the 12th, the day that left 202 days left in the year. We're in the 2022 year, as well as, the Jewish Hebrew New Year of 5782, giving us the 22. It's all right here, and we expected some energy around this time period as we get ready to transition into tomorrow, the 14th, which is the full moon. So very important. We know that right here, this is a typical, we see this, obviously before this got filled out, we saw a very big typical liquidity wick, like very similar to this time period back here. So if you were watching the charts yesterday, seeing this liquidity wick come in, and you were getting anxious because it was looking like we were going to possibly get back above and hold support of this trend line that goes back in time where we, have always seen a bounce from, except for this last year in June and July time period, very similar to right now, June and July. So very important. We'll break this down. So it's like, okay, it's part for the course during this stage to see what was going on. This liquidity wick was very important to pay attention to yesterday, leading into today, the 69-day time period between Satoshi Nakamoto's birthday and today. Relax. If you're in this market and you're getting emotional right now, and I believe there's less and less and less of you getting emotional right now, and I'm so grateful for that because it shows that you're building a due diligence and a mind frame around your portfolio and investing in the cryptocurrency game. We really have a chance to be one of the better communities and most prepared communities in the world in the near distant future if we continue to do this. Leave our emotions on the sidelines. When we're looking at these charts, we want to take away a lesson learned, okay? Like when we looked at these liquidity clear out zones that we knew we had a chance we had to break this previous zone to reach this next higher zone, right? Well, we didn't break this previous liquidity zone, so we had to come back and fill out previous support of, again, December 2020 time period. So if we don't hold this, we got a whole lot to talk about. So very important. But whenever we're communicating with each other about these cryptocurrencies and these markets, we're trying to get some utility out of the technical analysis and the energy we're giving here. This is something I've been trying to teach since the beginning of this channel and the work we've been doing here for the last few years. And I believe that's why we're thriving, and because we're able to look at this through the lens of the elite from a 30,000 foot overview span. And we're able to just understand that this market moves one of three ways: up, down, and sideways, and it only moves two ways euphorically, and that's just how this market works. And it's, all about how you manage throughout all of that. Okay, so again, I'm sure a majority of people were wigging out like we talked about. We're seeing today in videos today, just people not understanding the due diligence that we're doing here on a fundamental basis. Going back to the basics. Sometimes less is more, you guys. Perhaps, maybe, you're more like me where you're focused on just doing what you gotta do, and you weren't even paying attention to yesterday and Saturday where we saw retail sellers, individual restaurant workers, and construction workers, just nonsense. On a weekend, there's no institutions, no institutions, no investors trading. Like, this is all retail, and hopefully you were paying attention to your family and what mattered yesterday, playing with your kids, living your life. If you're looking at these charts, take something out of it. Start paper trading with a trading journal, okay? Take something out of it and learn how to use the exponential moving averages like we've talked about recently, like the 223 exponential moving averages, or the ones we share here, like the relative strength index or the MACD. the moon phases that we go over with. The full moon typically brings bullish or bearish energy 3 to 5 days before. On tomorrow's the full moon, so we're seeing this bearish energy. I mean, these are tools you can use while looking at the charts. And what is a tool, you guys? A tool can either be used for you to build your house or destroy your house. So remember that. Take this one step at a time so you can get a utility out of it and build a basis around the knowledge you're learning so you can elect it to wisdom. Okay, that's the most important key here. This market wasn't designed for you to win. It's designed for you to lose. The market makers knows what's going on, what's going to happen, and you have to be like them. You have to analyze like them. So anyone who's interested in following us here at the Daily Candle Close News and becoming a pioneer at the university and academy and learning how to analyze this market and becoming a better trader, then follow us here. Give us a like and share. Hit us in the comment section. If you can follow us on Facebook at the Daily Candle Close News, or Rumble at Honest Abe, AB3, capital H, capital A. So very important, all my pioneers that are following me now in the Pioneer group chat will get a discount on any future content that I release, like my exit strategy, etc., in the future. So that's very important that we keep that in mind. There are benefits coming your way. I promise. We're giving back. Not only are we doing more than anyone out there to the T, but for free, but we're planning on giving back to you all. Just keep that in mind. Big things coming and happening behind the scenes for the Daily Candle Close News. So seeing this big shakeout today, going to the minute chart today, and seeing when all this came in, going back to yesterday, when did this come in? I want to see where our bottom in the structure came in yesterday on the 13th. Or the 12th, sorry. Alright, so sorry about the pause here, you guys. I'm just reading this real quick on the 1 minute time frame to see if we can add some very ESO and exoteric connections here. Alright, now I'm just gonna go to the bottom today so far. Something I want you all to pay attention to is this 2-2. Well, it just changed to 224. But we were just at the 223. Something I prepared all my pioneers for, but very important. This 1933, 19. Okay, so very important. So 733. Very interesting. Just taking a look at that. I don't see anything too important right here. I just wanted to see if I can make some connections there. Sorry to stall out there and leave you all paused for a minute. But again, this 22,400 range, this 22,300 range, it's not surprising. It's something I've been able to share with all my pioneers, going back in time to see a possible retest of this lower range. Of course, we know it dated back to this time period right here in December of 2020, which was a previous all-time high before we continued on. We had a short pullback, but we're looking to continue to hold this $22,030 range. Very important. That's the 223. I did that totally by accident, you guys. But again, we saw this pullback of roughly 9% before we continued on. We've been in this horizontal trading range that we've talked about for a year now, you guys. So to see this pull back to $22,300, something we've been able to share with our pioneers here for quite some time, that we could see over the last few days and few videos, it's very important. Boom, filling in this range right here. We knew it was possible with our ABC corrective wave. So there are sub counts now. We're looking to see obviously another ABC wave bringing us back up. Let's see if we can come back up to this $32,200 range. We have our ABC. Let's see if we can continue that up. Basically, it's pretty messed up, you guys, and maybe we could see this A come up even higher. This be a inverse head and shoulders pattern, bringing us a rally that could come up for Bitcoin to around this 236 level, this 41K level. Very important before a potential rejection. This is a bullish pattern, an inverse head and shoulders. But anything bullish right now leading into August and September, I'd see this playing out towards, around September and the end of Rosh Hashanah and the Shemitah. So, this could drag out and take some time, but it'd be a very kind of weird inverse head and shoulders pattern that would bring us up but eventually get rejected. Could be a rejection from this trend line again, maybe up towards around that 45K range. We know Bitcoin, when we look at it, it equals 45. Not surprising. So very important. Let's pay attention to that. But seeing if we could see what happens right here is, obviously what we're going to do. We're not going to exit the market like everybody else and panic sell because Bitcoin's hitting a level we haven't retested since we broke out of it for 2+ years now. So again, this is very healthy and a spring in Wyckoff reaccumulation getting set right here. So undeniable and important that we pay attention. We know that we bottomed out back here and came back up and saw a bull trap that came back down. So very important. Can possibly see that again. We're in that possibility of seeing this drag out even longer. But when we look at this and how it was a 70-day time period, and we look at this and seeing as how to today it's a 70-day time period, tomorrow is very important. Could it be where we start to see this bullish energy start to kick in? We know that it's bearish leading towards the full moon. We got that. Tomorrow's the full moon, and it's that very exo and esoteric date of June 14th. Internationally written 14/6. But here on the Daily Candle Close News, we know June is really the 4th month of the year. So that is written 1/4/4. The exoteric 144,000 chosen, all coming in tomorrow. So very important that we pay attention to that. And again, when we look at this, we know Bitcoin hit a top on 111.10, and tomorrow, going back 111 days, is our low of February the 24th, where we saw on 224 the war narrative that got started the day before on 223, February 23rd. Again, skull and bones right there. So again, these 223s are very important right here in this time period, this 111 time period, this 70-day time period, matching this 70-day time period of last June and July. We were able to share with you how we could potentially see this play out just like this time period as early as March of this year. So, and even late February, we were sharing in this time period how we could possibly see this match this area back here of last June. So it's amazing to be prepared ahead of time and to go back and watch and now see how it's played out in the cards and to the T on the dates that we've been able to prepare you for. It's pre-programmed to an algorithmic code, and amazingly, it's there. Again, the 69 connection here, this 69K top, it all ties us back into Saturn, and pretty fascinating stuff once you start to understand the power of Father Time, Chronos, Saturn, okay? It's amazing. Don't be scared of Saturn. Walk with Saturn, okay? Very important. Walk with the Grim Reaper, with death. Okay? Don't be scared. Don't be fear. Don't fear these things. Alright? So I do see that last year and this year are playing out very similarly. With the eclipses, double eclipse period, the drown out. It's very important. Boom. You know, we started to fill out this May 19th wick of last year, and then had this pump, okay, that led to a bull trap into a bear trap. We know this was a bear trap because look what happened afterwards, okay? But that's potentially what we're seeing right here. Let's see if this is a bear trap where people continue to think this is just gonna go lower, possibly to around 19 or, you know, etc. And maybe we do go to 17K and fill this area out as well. Who knows? I'm not here to say, but we could see this be a bear trap and start working its way up around this full moon area as we get ready to start transitioning into the next new moon that typically brings bullish energy to these markets. So, very important. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands real quick. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we're just plowing down, you know. We got very tight right here. Of course, why? Because we were in this trading range of $32,200 and $30,022. I mean, boom. We failed to hold support, and now we're at 22,300. It's unbelievable, you guys. So, very important. Let's look at this 8 simple moving average, the 55 simple moving average, and the 200 simple moving average really quick on the daily time frame. You know, a potential retest of this 55. We know why that's important. It ties us to Satoshi Nakamoto at right there at around that 32,200 level. So a pump back up there would not be surprising on the daily time frame. Let's pay attention to that. Yeah, we're in full bearish posture, of course. You know, that's not, you know, that's not surprising. Who let the dogs out? They let the dogs out. You know, so very important. This 223 exponential moving average, obviously sitting there at around that 39. The mirror of 93, we getting Saturn. So very important. Obviously on the daily time frame with this chart that we've been paying attention to, not a lot more to talk about. So very important, obviously. So coming out of yesterday, a day that left 202 days left in the year, giving us the 22 when we dropped to 0. We're at 22K for Bitcoin. We're in the 2022 year, in the Jewish Hebrew New Year of 5782, which gives us 22. All this makes sense to us here because we know around the 21st, 22nd of every month, we tend to see a market reset, giving us that 22. It tends to bring a change in volatility around the markets, so giving us that 22 as well. So again, reset, recycle, giving us that, it's all giving us that 22. So we pay attention to the exo and esoteric signs here with numerology and gematria when we view these charts. So pay attention and do your due diligence. It's all coming back full circle again. Undeniable. Something we've been able to share with you for months here. When viewing this chart with the mind frame that we're building for you, you could be winning right now. And again, I've already given you this in advance for you to see it now play out. So I'm able to take pride in, and not brag and boast right here. I'm just taking pride in the work that I'm doing for you all. So I love you, pioneers. But I personally feel that based off of prior data, Bitcoin should be hitting its bottom right now. And we, you know, so very important. We are. Before we get a relief rally into June and July and August, okay? Before we typically may see another bottom come around this Shemitah, the real bottom, okay? So what level that comes in at, I'm not sure. That's going to be somewhere at around the low 20s, around that 17, 19K. Who knows? Very important. But this is all retail trading, like I've said over the last few days. And then today, well, they brought it to where they wanted it at the 223. So very important, Retail was very low volume if we were to look at that over the weekend. And then look at today. So Sunday and Saturday, this was retail. And then they said, well, look what I can do. Hold my beer. Okay? So very important we pay attention to this. Okay? Not surprising. We're pulling down to the full moon of June. We did this just like this back here, pulling down to the full moon of June. We could end up closing this daily candle. Well, we're not going to now. We closed it. Imagine that. We closed the daily candle down 15.38%. Pay attention, you guys. 15 ties us back to the year of the tiger we are in. We've seen this 15 be very bearish. The Cincinnati Bengals were tied to the tiger. They lost, okay? This 15 has been bearish all year. The only connection we've made to it that's been bullish was Kansas winning the NCAA championship, okay? But that's not surprising. Bitcoin down 15% today, 15.38%. We're in the year of the Shemitah. That Shemitah gives us 38. The 3 8s, okay? 3 8s is a symbol for love, the angel number. So go and do your research right there. That's very symbolic right here. Seeing this daily close at, 15.38% today. Not surprising. Taking us down to that 223. So, very important. We know that this time period from the high to low was about 95 days. This is about 200 days, If you've been in this since last year, let me clear this up. You've pretty much been in a whole cycle, you guys. And time in the market is better than timing the market. Even though we've got the ability to almost view these and perceive these charts through the lenses of the elite, let's not get cocky and hopeful or anything, I'm not here to push hopium. I'm here to just show you that time in the market is so much better. You're getting an opportunity to now pack your bags where we were still packing and stacking last year before the blow off top, which again, this is just an automatic rally, a buying climax with a higher high. There's still no blow off top, euphoric parabolic run yet. We haven't seen that for the first time in 13 years during a bull cycle. People want to say the bear market's here and we're ending in fear. Like we've never in the history of charting seen a bull market end in fear. It's always ended in euphoria. So, again, those narratives I shared, it's just nonsense. And I'm not bashing any of them creators and content providers. Again, they're putting artwork out. What are you doing? I'm just saying, let's view this to the mindset that we're building here. Let's not forget that. Leave your emotions on the sidelines. A lot of them look like they're not doing that. Okay? So when we had this conversation in the past about Amazon and how it lost 90% of its value in the dot-com bubble crash, and how we've been comparing this lately to the dot-com bubble, it's because the government's behind it just like they were behind it in 2001. They're the ones doing this. They're the ones putting the liquidity into this market. They're the ones taking it out. And when we have all these things colliding with economic chaos, crisis, and turmoil, it's where we're at. It just gives us the whole conversation today. When you're able to view this and not feel like you're getting lost in the sauce, and you're letting your emotions run haywire because you're trying to figure out why Terra Luna dumped and why Bitcoin's dumping, and it's like it's all in technical analysis and a pre-programmed algorithmic code. I don't want to be too confusing, but it is part of the reason why a lot of people are attracted to my work, is just the minutia and monotony that we're doing here. So, very important. Let's see where we want to go from here. Something I want to share with you all that I think is pretty interesting, going off of this June 22nd low over to the Shemitah, we see that it's going to be a span of 77 days. Again, this is the pivot point we use. So very important. We know that this is September 7th, which is actually the 7th month, the 7th day. This was 77 days. So very important. Off the low. This could be our low coming in. So if we were to go 77, sorry. This could be the lowest we could get if we were to repeat last year. Let's go back 77 days and see where that takes us. Well, how about that? 77 days is taking us right back to our March 28th highs, where we got our bull trap from the top of our trend line right here at 47K, which was 7 days before Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday. Okay, so all very exo and esoteric right here. Just very important 7 connections right here. We're in the year of the 7s, the 7-year sabbatical cycle, the Shemitah. So if we were to go 77 days forward, we could see this take us to around the end of August. Very important, August 29th. So if we were to go to that time period last year, we were, recently coming out of a high right here on August 23rd. So very important. August tends to bring a rally, an automatic rally, leading into September. So again, we know that the market participants and investors like to take advantage of sell in May, walk away. Remember to return in September, and may September shine like gold come December. Okay, so very important. Anyways, we led this to a bear trap, into that automatic rally, into Rosh Hashanah. So very important. I just find it very interesting how finding this from this date today, back 77 days, ties us into 7 days before Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday that led to this 70-day time period to today. So 70 days to today. Again, we're in the year of the 7-year sabbatical cycle. It's all about the 7s. It's all about the 7s. It's all tuned in. So very important, you guys. Undeniable. And I'm not doing this. I'm not making it up. I'm just here to show you the connections and help you learn how to view this market so you can pack your bags, stack them, and get ready to sell a price increase, not financial advice. So very important. The next important date we're going to pay attention to is, and look at, write this. You want to know how I view a market in the bear market? When I pull a bearish retrace pull and a Fibonacci extension, so if we were to pull it, we would pay attention to this wick right here. We would pull it from the right to the left to the high. So very important. And if we were to do that, we're going to get our 1618, the golden ratio of phi 161, right down here. And where are we coming down here to retest? A perfect reaccumulation period. Again, retesting December breakout highs. So come on, pioneers, don't get fudded out of these markets. Pay attention. Yes, we broke our horizontal trading range and support that I talked about in my last video. So what? We're retesting a great accumulation range. Many people don't know about this, so very, very important. But another date we're going to pay attention to in the near distant future coming up is obviously tomorrow being the full moon. Very important, but 615 as well. 3 times 11 giving us the 33. We know how important that number is, but it's 103 days to the end of Rosh Hashanah and the Shemitah. We know this 103 coming in on Wednesday on June 15th in the year of the tiger, giving us 15. Okay, this could be a bearish day or a bullish day. We don't care. Just pay attention to it. But this is tying us into Mercury, the day of Mercury. Wednesday is the day of Miracoles, or Mercury. And Mercury gives us that 103 in numerology. And that day, Wednesday, coming up June 15th, is 103 days from the end of the Shemitah. Drop to 0, you get 13. We're in the 13-year anniversary of Bitcoin. So very important. Very important. Undeniable, you guys. Alright. So, XRP. Where are we at? How about that? Bearish retrace pull, pulling it back from this trading range. where we saw our last bear trap from on March 29th to the top. We're about to hit the 1618. So right there at around that 26, 27 cent cent range. Not surprising. Ripple gives us that 27. So we're looking to reaccumulate, and we just bought some 30-cent XRP. We don't care if we buy the bottom or not, but Ripple giving us that 27, something we're looking at. So pay attention to this. We know it's XRP giving us that 22. We're looking for that 22-cent range to see if we can accumulate at that 22-cent range for XRP. If we were to pull the VPVR up, we're going to see when we zoom out that's coming in right there at around, well, that 22-cent range. So guess where we got orders set to buy at, you guys? Not 222, but the 22.3 cent range, 223. So very important. Maybe we hit the VPVR and we're able to accumulate again and pack our bags before another cycle into a parabolic blow off top eventually, before we enter a 4-year bear market. So very important. Coming up on some great opportunities in the #1 digital asset on the face of this planet. We got a lot to talk about with this asset. Probably gonna do some altcoins in their own video, but gonna run through a few real quick while we're just making these important connections. Going back to this chart right here, Ethereum, something we know we failed to hold support of was this 1,073 range. So this $1,730 range, $1,703, it didn't really matter as long as it gave us that 173, which ties us back into Vitalik Buterin, one of the co-founders and producers or whatever the F of this ICO, Ethereum. Notice how I said that there. Shout out to the big SEC for dropping the ball on that one, you guys. But when we type in this gentleman's name, sorry, let me see if I can find it where I can copy it and paste it. There we go. But when we type this gentleman's name out, what do we get? We get the 173. So, oh man. Sorry about that, you guys. I made this mistake. You get the 173. So to see Ethereum fall below this 173 range, it's not surprising. It's how we react to it now that I'm paying attention to. But ultimately just still setting a spring in Wyckoff reaccumulation after decline. Okay, so buying climax with a selling climax, automatic rally with a breakdown of, lower highs. This is obviously like a dead cat bounce. We're going to break this all down, setting a spring and structure. So just very important. Recently, we've been dollar cost averaging. We told you Algorand, anything under 65 cents, we were buying. So again, we could go lower, but 30-cent Algorand, that's 35 cent lower than where we last talked about it, and you're not buying the dip. Not financial advice. Now we have finally accumulated all of our target ranges for Polkadot. Could we go lower? Of course we could. We'll break this down later in another video. We're just getting ready to exit out of here. But Stellar XLM, the same thing. We could see it go to as low as 7 cents, where we got our first initial buy-ins at. We first initially bought in at 3 cents for Stellar XLM. Then we started accumulating at 7 cents and on before we saw this rally all the way up towards 80 cents. So very important. But undeniable, you guys, Chainlink, okay? We knew we were accumulating anything under this $13 range, under this $10 range. And look at where we're at now, where we first bought in $3 and $5. So pay attention. We could hit that $3 range again. I'm not saying we could. I'm just saying, not financial advice, but a lot of these RSIs have already previously reached underbought and oversold. I'm just throwing this out there, not financial advice. So with all that being said, you guys, take care. God bless. Be ready to look out for the altcoin technical analysis video that will do more technical analysis, market psychology, sentiment, etc. But I remember the sentiment of this time period last year in June when we were seeing these June lows come in before a July that low that dragged out and was boring. We ultimately just saw this time period scrunched up into right now. So I'm not saying tomorrow we could wake up and see Bitcoin up 30%, up 10K, but hey, we've seen it before. Not financial advice, but take care and God bless, pioneers. Pioneers rise, build your legacy, and build your fortress.